40th UIM F1 H2O World Championship was nothing short of spectacular as the world's most talented and audacious marine speed enthusiasts battled fiercely for the most prestigious title in powerboat racing. This was a season of epic battles and emotional turns, with icons of the sport eclipsed, newcomers carving their path, and unlikely heroes emerging victorious. The 2024 season unfolded across some of the world's most breathtaking locations. The journey began with the inaugural Pertamina Grand Prix of Indonesia on Lake Toba, the world's largest volcanic lake, setting the stage for an electrifying start to the championship. The second round took us to the vibrant coastal city of Quy Nhon, Vietnam, hosting the Grand Prix of Binh Dinh for the very first time, an event that marked a historic milestone for the series. Next, the fleet traveled to Europe, landing on the stunning Italian island of Sardinia for the Regione Sardegna Grand Prix of Italy in the picturesque city of Olbia. For round 4, the action returned to Asia, this time to the dynamic city of Shanghai, China. The competition then moved to Zhengzhou, the birthplace of Kung Fu, for the new development Grand Prix of Zhengzhou, a thrilling addition to the calendar in a city steeped in history. The season concluded in grand style with the traditional finale, the Road to Sharjah Grand Prix of Sharjah in the UAE. As we look back on this remarkable season, let's return to where it all began, Lake Toba, Indonesia, a location that kick-started a year to remember in the UIM F1 H2O World Championship. The 2024 season of the UIM F1 H2O World Championship fires into life with the Pertamina Grand Prix of Indonesia. The series returns to Indonesia for the second time with a 300th race in the history of the world's most famous canopy racing championship run on Lake Toba in Sumatra. The perfect backdrop for an F1 H2O season opener, Lake Toba sits in the ancient caldera of a supermassive volcano that exploded 70,000 years ago in a climate-changing event. This year's championship kicked off with a stacked lineup of 9 teams and 17 drivers from across the globe. The man to beat, 2-time defending world champion Jonas Andersson, formerly of Team Sweden and now renamed Team Vietnam.
I had a big opportunity and I'm really grateful that we have a new team. This is incredible for me after all year with a very small sponsor.
Andersson is joined by Stefan Arend, a promising rookie from Estonia who steps up to the World Championship after securing third in last year's UIM F2 World Championship. Finishing second in the Drivers' Championship was Victory Team's Eric Stark.
No, we're going to try to push a little bit more, try to win some races and try to win the championship. It's our goal and I really think we can do it.
The big news for Team Abu Dhabi was the retirement of their 3-time world champion driver Sean Torrente, who'd be replaced by young Italian talent Alberto Comparato. Celio and Zandbergen's driving for Red Devil SMC F1 team this season. Philip Roms will run their number 18 boat and has 2 podium finishes to his name. He'll be joined by Canadian Rusty Wyatt, who'll be making his F1 H2O racing debut. The tight, highly technical circuit on Lake Toba features 10 buoys, including 2 yellow right-handers. The starting grid, Jonas Andersson continuing where he left off at the top, and right behind him Victory Team's Eric Stark. Rusty Wyatt and Stefan Arend, P3 and P4 respectively, Bartek Marszalek in 5th, followed by Celio in 6th. The lights go out and the race is on. The top 3 boats bolt off the dock. Andersson leads, but Eric Stark in the blue Victory boat begins to nudge ahead. Stark has superior speed down to the commitment buoy and takes the lead around the green buoys, but Andersson still has the inside lane advantage. They lock horns in a duel down to the right-hander. Stark has the inside lane and is pushing to the max, almost losing it. But he manages to settle the boat and surges ahead. Stark takes first place, dousing Andersson in his spray. What an opening salvo from the Victory driver. Ben Jelf leads into the right-hander, squeezing out Zandbergen, but leaving very little room for Roms, who plows straight into Zandbergen's rear. The young Dutchman barrel rolls and gets an underwater view of Lake Toba. Entering the final lap, Eric Stark gains on Jonas Andersson. The red boat seems to be losing pace. The two boats sponson to sponson. Andersson on the inside lane. At the last second, he finds some speed and defends his position. The three boats go through the right to left switchbacks at maximum throttle. Rusty Wyatt coming around down the final straight. Stark moves to the outside. He blasts past Andersson into first. He's done it. The final stretch, the three boats gunning it to the finish line. And here comes Rusty Wyatt. The rookie has tremendous speed on the outside. He beats them all and crosses the line in first. A stunning finish. Rusty Wyatt storms to a win in the final stretch. Sharjah team cannot believe they've done it. The day belongs to Canadian sensation Rusty Wyatt. A fire on board in the final laps, but he salvages third. His teammate Estonian Stefan Arant with an incredible fourth place finish in his first race.
You know, I started even backing off a little bit. The water was getting pretty nasty, and you know, we had a bit of a gap in between each other. I was happy with third, but I saw Jonas start breaking down, and then Stark was having an issue, and I just held it wide open around the outside, and there we were. Storybook finish.
The traditional F1 H2O dunking of a first-time race winner, Rusty Wyatt, takes a dip in Lake Toba. The UIM F1 H2O World Championship season headed for the very first time to Vietnam, to the picturesque coast of Quy Nhon in Binh Dinh province. The city of Quy Nhon put its best foot forward by organizing a truly spectacular series of events during the amazing Binh Dinh Festival. Boasting pristine beaches with tranquil waters, Binh Dinh province prides itself on firm steps it has taken to become the premier ecotourism destination of Southeast Asia. The event garnered significant publicity in Vietnam, especially with the presence of Team Vietnam, which boasted last year's defending champion Jonas Andersson and rookie sensation Stefan Arant. Coming in with a bang was Sharjah team's Canadian sensation Rusty Wyatt, who shocked the field on Lake Toba with a record-breaking win in his very first F1 race.
The rookie status is good, you know. It puts that much more pressure on you, and I like the pressure, right? So it's going to be a big weekend here. We obviously won our first race, so we're going to be fighting for that win again, I hope.
Eric Stark was second in the Drivers' Championship and entering his second year with the Dubai-based powerhouse Victory Team. The circuit on Tinai Bay, Quy Nhon, features 6 buoys with one right-hander. The starting grid, Stark on pole, with Andersson and teammate Arant behind in second and third. Rusty Wyatt fourth in front of Peter Marin. Just moments to go now as crowds jostle for space to witness the spectacle of F1 racing. The race is on. The boats roar off the pontoon. Eric Stark has a phenomenal start. But behind, Arant is swamped in Andersson's wash. The Estonian, unable to see, swerves on the inside. Eric Stark has stormed off at the front, nearly 5 boats lengths ahead of the pack. Stark is first to the all-shot buoy, Andersson P2, Rusty in third, with Stefan Arant having dropped back. Rusty Wyatt bears down on Andersson. Andersson cuts hard, and Wyatt has to bash through his wash, losing ground to the Swede. Bad luck for Ferdinand Zandbergen, who gets shut out by Daniel Kamzi. The Dutchman misses the buoy, passing on the wrong side, and has to go around, dropping him from 8th to 15th. At the front, Eric Stark now begins to extend his lead. Going into lap 13 now, the battle for 10th heats up. Roms leads Dillard, the duo zooming up to another pair of back markers. The melee of 4 boats taking the left-hander, with Peter Marin trying to lap them all on the inside. Philip Roms is on the outside. Oh, he goes airborne, up and over. Brent Dillard collides with Roms and sends the young Finn flying. The race is yellow flagged. Thankfully, both drivers are okay, but they're both out of the race. Eric Stark going strong, having never let up the lead, but with just a few laps to go, can he finally bring Victory Team a win? The laps wind down and Eric Stark crosses the line in first. Victory Team finally get their much-deserved place at the top of the podium. Rusty Wyatt, with another impressive race, finishes in 4th. Marsalek 5th, and Alkamzi rounds out the top 6.
First win with Victory. Ahmed was super happy. It's first time for him. It's we are a really, really good team right now, and I feel really strong for this season.
In the Drivers' World Championship standings, Eric Stark takes the lead, 8 points clear of Rusty Wyatt, who is second with 47 points, tied with defending champion Jonas Andersson. The UIM F1 H2O World Championship returns to the stunning island of Sardinia for the Regione Sardegna Grand Prix of Italy. Sardinia is situated in one of the most scenic corners of the Mediterranean, boasting beautiful seaside towns, rugged mountains, and untouched beaches that attract visitors year-round. The championship points leader heading into the weekend was Victory Team's Eric Stark.
Point leader of the championship and a win, so yeah, it was really, really amazing. It was my first win with the Victory Team, so yeah, it was a big one for us.
Second and third place in the Drivers' Championship was a dead heat between Jonas Andersson and Rusty Wyatt, with 47 points apiece. Trailing in fourth on the road to Sharjah was Bartek Marszalek of Stromoy Racing. The Polish ace continually refines his skills. The starting grid: Rusty Wyatt on pole, then Daniel Kamzi P2, Peter Marin P3, championship leader Stark in P4. The fleet motors out to line up for the rolling starts. There it is, the green flag is up and the race is on. The massive field guns down the finish line chute. Daniel Kamzi on the attack, trying to pass Rusty Wyatt on the outside. Rusty has the inside lane and swings around the left-hander. Al Kamzi has to back off and gets a hose down from the Canadian in the lead. Meanwhile, Stefan Arendt swoops in from the outside and moves past Zandbergen, heading into the yellow right-hander, and Stefan Arendt loses his back end and barrel rolls. The airbags inflate, and the rookie is out almost immediately. Big frustration for the Estonian on just the opening lap. The green flag is up, the race is back on. The field charges to the first buoy. Daniel Kamzi has amazing speed on the outside, neck and neck with Rusty Wyatt. The Canadian has the inside lane and nails that left-hander and holds on to first. The battle for third is on with Peter Marin on the inside and a drag race with Eric Stark up to the left-hander. Eric Stark nudges ahead, but Marin hooks the turn on a dime and shoots forward. And there's trouble for Eric Stark. He comes to a halt in front of the stands. Floating, the championship points leader is dead in the water. Big disappointment for Victory Team. And more trouble now as the Team Abu Dhabi driver pulls off the course. Frustration in the cockpit for Al Kamzi as he breaks down. Team Abu Dhabi out of the race with 2 DNFs. Rusty Wyatt on his way to capping off a weekend of absolute domination. A second win in his rookie season, nothing short of spectacular. Jonas Andersson displays a phenomenal rise through the field from 14th to 5th and nabs 7 points.
I was a bit nervous, to be honest. I was waiting around all day. I was just kind of getting over my head, I think, a little bit. And you know what? We put it together for the start and just kind of checked out, man, exactly like I wanted to do, check out. And then when I get to the lap traffic, at least I had some time to be able to get around and not be pressured on. So.
Rusty Wyatt with his second win in his rookie year, the young gun moves to the top of the championship standings on the road to Sharjah. He is 14 points clear of defending champion Jonas Andersson in second and 15 ahead of Eric Stark in third. The fourth round of the UIM F1 H2O World Championship returned to Shanghai, China after a 20-year hiatus. This much-anticipated event takes place at the Wusongkou International Cruise Terminal in Baoshan District, offering a stunning waterfront venue that serves as the perfect backdrop for this high-octane competition. The man to beat was Sharjah Team's Rusty Wyatt. The Canadian sent shockwaves through the field at the season opener in Indonesia, claiming a stunning last-gasp victory, and has since proved that his debut win was no fluke after dominating the last round in Sardinia, Italy.
We're here now. I think we definitely got a few things we've worked on, so let's hope everything works out and bring the positive momentum into this weekend.
Team Vietnam's defending champion, Jonas Andersson, has faced a string of tough breaks this season. Victory Team's Eric Stark sits third in the championship, just 1 point behind Andersson. The circuit is located at the mouth of the Huangpu River in the Baoshan district, featuring a classic 4-pin layout. Race day saw gusting winds, driving rain, and tempestuous seas, but that didn't stop spectators gathering in the thousands to witness the battle and cheer for their local team. The starting grid, Rusty Wyatt on pole, Eric Stark in third, sandwiched between Team Vietnam's Anderson and Arendt in second and fourth. Behind them, Red Devil SMC, Zandbergen, and Celio in fifth and sixth. Race director Luis Ribeiro waits for the boats to line up in the correct order and can signal the start at any moment. And there it is, the green flag is up. Jonas Anderson on the attack. The Swede surges ahead, passing Rusty Wyatt. But the Canadian has the inside lane and is first around the buoy. Anderson gets washed down back into second. Eric Stark is third, Arendt fourth, Zandbergen fifth. Alkamzi is giving Stefan Arendt hard chase, trying to find a way around the Estonian. The Emirati goes wide, trying to gain speed on the outside, but he catches a wave and goes right through the buoy. That'll be a penalty for the Team Abu Dhabi driver. In the battle for second, Eric Stark has Jonas Anderson under immense pressure. The defending champion has to thread by Alpha Him, coming around the left-hander. Eric Stark attacks on the outside. The three boats turn in unison. Anderson able to maintain a razor-thin lead. The two Swedes risk everything over the treacherous waves as they push their limits, going all out. Anderson on the inside gets a big bump. Stark gets huge air. He crashes down hard with pieces flying off his boat. Jonas Anderson doggedly pursues his fellow countryman, trying to get back his position. But it's too late. Luis Ribeiro throws up the red flag and ends the race in lap 11 due to the worsening conditions. And with that, Rusty Wyatt takes his third win of the season. Celebration for Team Sharjah. Eric Stark nabs second place, Jonas Anderson third, Ferdinand Zandbergen fourth, and Stefan Arendt fifth.
Yeah, we got 3 now, 3 out of 4. So hopefully we can keep the good times rolling. It's looking good. The boats, everything is perfect for what we're into right now, and we got a little bit more of a technical course there next week or 2 weeks from now. So I'm looking forward to that for sure, and hopefully the weather's a little better.
In the Drivers' World Championship standings, Rusty Wyatt maintains his lead, 13.5 points clear of Eric Stark in second. But just a half point separates Stark from defending champion Jonas Anderson.
For the F1 H2O World
The UIM F1 H2O World Championship continued its journey through the Far East with the new development Grand Prix of Zhengzhou, marking round 4 of the 2024 season in the People's Republic of China. Zhengzhou, a dynamic metropolis on the Yellow River Basin, is often referred to as the cradle of Chinese civilization. Coinciding with the event was the 13th Zhengzhou International Shaolin Wushu Festival, which brought together 2,560 athletes from 56 countries and regions. Sharjah Team's Rusty Wyatt entered on a high with 3 Grand Prix wins this season. Victory Team's Eric Stark, who secured a Grand Prix win earlier this season in Vietnam, currently sits second in the championship, just half a point ahead of his friend and fellow Swede Jonas Anderson. Team Vietnam's defending champion Jonas Anderson has faced a series of setbacks this season.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough to beat Rusty for the championship. You have a big lead, but it's still 60 points to race for, and it's gonna be tough, but we're gonna do all we can to try to beat them.
The Zhengzhou course is set on a scenic city lake, featuring a 6-pin layout with a single, challenging yellow right-hander. Jonas Anderson, starting from pole, needed to salvage his fading season. Behind Anderson in P1 was Peter Marin in P2, followed by Wyatt in P3, Sami Celio in 4th, and Stark in 5th. And there it is, the green flag is up. Wyatt makes a move on Peter Marin on the inside. The Frenchman has the speed and defends P2 from Rusty Wyatt, coming around the left-hander. Marin moves to the inside and closes the door on Wyatt as he chases down Jonas Anderson in the lead. As they come past the start-finish line, and Ahmed Al-Fahim loses control, clips Stark and spins out. The race is yellow flagged. And there's more chaos. Brent Dillard crashes as well. The China CTIC driver catches too much lift, launching into a flip before landing upright. Meanwhile, Eric Stark is back in the wet pit as Victory Team scrambles to repair his boat, but the damage proves too severe. And there it is, green flag. Rusty Wyatt, starting in P3, has good pace on the inside, but Peter Marin accelerates around the corner, shutting out the Canadian driver. Rusty Wyatt has struggled with an engine issue since the race began, and by lap 15, he's forced to pull off the race line. Entering the final lap, positions remain unchanged. It's an extraordinary day for Jonas Andersson, who claims his first win of the season after a flawless performance, while his two biggest rivals fail to finish. Peter Marin impresses with another second-place finish in China, and Sami Celio finally on the Grand Prix podium this season.
It went fantastic. The boat was very easy to drive, and when I had 6-7 seconds to Peter, I was trying to take it easy because it's so rough, so it's very easy to break the boat. But I'm super happy for the team that's working like hell. But now we're back on the top where we should be, so I'm very, very happy.
Jonas Andersson now climbs to the top of the driver's standings, heading into the final race in Sharjah, with Rusty Wyatt just 3 points behind as he gears up for his home race. Peter Marin jumps to third, narrowly edging out Eric Stark for fourth by just 2 points. The UIM F1H2O World Championship returned to Sharjah for the Road to Sharjah Grand Prix of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates for a season-ending finale where the 2024 World Champion would be crowned. The Grand Prix of Sharjah promises to deliver one of the most dramatic finales in F1H2O history, with the championship wide open. This year, the event carries even more significance as Sharjah team's very own Rusty Wyatt, in his rookie season, is vying for the championship title. His incredible journey has electrified local fans, adding an extra layer to this already iconic race. Team Vietnam's Jonas Andersson came into this season as the reigning champion, but in 2024 he faced a battlefield unlike any other.
Last race I was very lucky to have a perfect setup and win the race, and I mean it's difficult to keep one complete season together and everybody is so fast. So
Eric Stark, the Victory Team's star driver, has shown flashes of brilliance this season, including a win in Vietnam and a second-place finish on Lake Toba. Race day! Crowds packed Khalid Lagoon, eager to witness the race that would decide it all. The starting grid, Jonas Andersson on pole, Stark P2, Marin P3, after Thani Al-Khamzi engine swaps, dropping him down to 15th. The boats line up, just seconds to go now. There it is, the lights go out and the race is on. Peter Marin has a terrible start, slow off the line. Andersson leads to the whole shot, Stark in second. Bartek Marszalek on the attack, passes Ben Jelf into P3 as the field rounds the whole shot buoy. Visibility near impossible in the blinding sun and spray. Ben Jelf trying to push through, he slams into the buoy. Rusty Wyatt goes ballistic on the outside, attacking both Victory boats, and he does it! Rusty powers past Stark on the outside. Now it's a battle with Al Fahim, the two boats charging into turn one. Rusty Wyatt takes the lead, but Al Fahim catches an edge. He barrel rolls. The boats line up for the restart. Green flag is up. Sharjah team's Rusty Wyatt guns it, but Stark holds P2 on the outside. Wyatt gains the upper hand. He pulls ahead. But Stark is there. He closes the gap and cuts off Rusty's line. The positions hold steady as the laps wind down. And there it is. Jonas Andersson crosses the finish line, clinching his third World Championship and delivering Team Vietnam their first ever title. Stark fiercely defends second, and Rusty Wyatt completes an incredible charge from 10th into third. In the team's World Championship standings, Team Vietnam claims the top spot, while Sharjah's duo of Rusty Wyatt and Philip Roms secure second. Jonas Anderson joins the elite ranks of three-time world champions. Rusty Wyatt takes second overall and Rookie of the Year, while Eric Stark secures third for Victory Team.
It's incredible. The boys have worked so hard and I've been working so hard, and I'm so proud to do this with this new team Vietnam. We win the World Championship the first year, and I'm so grateful to the sponsor from Vietnam and what we achieved this year.
The F1H2O flag was officially passed to the next hosts in Indonesia before Sharjah capped off the weekend with a lavish awards ceremony and gala dinner where drivers, teams and their families enjoyed the splendors of an Arabian feast in a night to remember. This concludes a spectacular UIM F1H2O World Championship. See you in 2025.